these are some of the new paper pouches that have come out. There's a whole new collection of them, huge ones, small ones. Oh, actually, I'll just grab them. And I just wanted to show you how to turn the paper pouch into something a little bit more durable. And then I've been using these as pencil cases and document holders and ephemera bits and pieces in my, well, everywhere. And they've just been really wonderful. So I decided to, laminate's not quite the right word, but cover them so that, you know, they're waterproof. I'm from the outside anyway. But we've got, when we send out parcels to you, we've got a whole lovely selection of parcels that we can select and pouches that we can put things in. What's going on with my brain? These are the postcards that we send out. Some of them have got tips about mixed media, watercolour, like general arty tips, plus things that are specific to us. And we always try and make them beautiful, of course. I'll just pop them over there. And then these are laminated versions of some of the pouches. Now, these are a step through the archive. Some of these aren't available. If you would have them, you can use them for collage, or we can make a little actual container out of them. This is one of the new ones. Oh, I just adore them. This one we haven't been sending out yet because there's something special happening tomorrow. Oh, and that's a reminder. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, it's free. It's on my website. It's on the bottom of every page. You can subscribe. It's on the, there's a pop-up that pops up. There's something special happening tomorrow and you won't want to miss out on what's in that newsletter. New things and surprises. But this is just some of the new ones with all the ink coming along. Oh, it's the big watercolour one. I think I'm using the other one of this one with all the colours on it. I'm using her for something at home. And this is the big granddaddy. The big mama bag, and it's just great to put your art in and all sorts. You can purchase the whole set of the paper bags, or when you order from us, you can't request which ones you want or anything like that. And we don't, you know, it's luck of the draw what you get, but this is what you can do with them, or you've got other paper bags, right? So this is a bag that the pixel pens actually come in, and rather than put in their own suitcase, in their own pencil case, or put them in another pencil case, I've just been putting them in this, popping them in my bag, light, durable, great. So that's what I've been using. Oh, excellent. Sarah did it with it. Yes, so same process we can use to cover the journals too. So I might even do that. But I thought I might cover this one because I need to use it later. So I'll just pop my little journal there. All you need is contact paper. It's just a bit arty crafty. This was like $5 for a roll of it in Australia. So that's probably $1 in America. Everything's always cheaper in America. Yeah, just at Woolworths, but you can get it everywhere, and it's just the clear version. There's patterned ones and all of that, but when I was a kid, you'd use it to cover your school books. That was a really big deal. Mum would, you know, we'd go and pick out wrapping paper or pictures from magazines, and then we would cover out my little school books and get ready for the school year. So I'm just measuring out how big I'm going to need it. So for the sides, I don't really need much, just enough to be able to fold that around. So I don't need to trim off too much this way, but I do want to make sure I've got lots of extra at this end so that I can bring it all the way up and over and down. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'll just use the lines here. Oh man, I just cut my bloody black mat. And I swore, sorry. Bloody's not too bad of a swear word. Look at that. I just snipped my... I've had this for what, 8, 10 years? The first cut is the deepest. So I've got my thing here, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to whack straight into it, I think. Why not? Just pull up that corner. There's probably some life hack to make this so it's easier to roll back. I'll just pop my scissors there. And I think I'll go the whole hog. What I should have done, I can see there's a bit of dust or detritus on my surface here. I should have just cleaned that off so it doesn't end up in my cover, but hopefully it won't anyway. So we'll just take off all of that business. Oh, actually having it on this is not good because it grabs things and it's going to grab them and make things wrinkly. So I'm going to lift that up. Sorry about the reflection. Take that and pop it down there so that that splat mat isn't gripping. Usually I like a little bit of grip, but not for this. I wonder why that won't record. Sorry, I wanted to record this and I can't. That's okay. So I'm going to pop this down on here, and if I go like this, it just might help not get wrinkles. But if this is flat, it shouldn't get wrinkles anyway. If it does, whatever, I have wrinkles. And I should have actually brought it down a little bit further than that. I wasn't paying enough attention. Let's, I can either fold this back over, or I think it's a bit safer to do it this way actually. Let me just get organised here first. And snipperoonie. It's good practice for Christmas presents, right? The wrapping season is about to commence. Oh look, I got a wrinkle, whatevs. Won't be the only one. And the more wrapping over at the edges and stuff, the better, because this is going to be the weak point, because that's going to get the most wear, of course. So I just need to trim the little areas. Just bring that over neatly. Once I started doing this, I just couldn't stop. And I bought 3 rolls of contact, and I'm only just on my 3rd one. I've covered all of them. Some of them I have 2 of. And when I say all of them, I mean, you know, from the full collection. So I'm just going to bring that over. Rather than trim it off flush, if I've got it so it comes over, it's just going to protect that little paper edge so that if there was moisture, that's going to be protected. So that's good. And it's better to do all of this because if I bring that over, it'll stick to that paper. I don't want that to. But once I've got this plastic down and I bring this piece over, it's just going to stick to plastic and I can remove it easily. So that'll be easy. Oh, got a little notification of a Black Friday whatnot. Okay, I'm going to bring... Might even whizzy-dizzy this around. Pop that like that too while I'm here. Kerry, how you going, love? Have you done this yet, Kerry? Fancified any of your paper bags yet? Now, this is, I mean, it's not tricky, but obviously I've got to get this down and not enclose that. I've got to roll that down and get it to stick under this piece of paper. So if I just go, you know, at a reasonable pace, everything will work out fine. Look, just tuck it in like you do a sheet. Oh, I've got a bit of an air bubble there. Not a problem. Pop that one over, and I had where's that little bit of extra? I'm just going to pop that on there. Just see where there's raw paper there. Just when I fold this over, you'll see why. This will just make my life a bit easier, make that a bit stronger, and it's clear and fine, so no one will ever notice it. And I don't need this bit here. So I'm going to trim, I could have actually even trimmed this beforehand. Wait a minute. No, it will be useful to have some of it. So wait a minute. Don't need that bit. I'll just do that for now. So I will bring that bit like so. It just depends how ambitious I want to be with the amount that I've got here. So let's just flap it over and then we'll just see how ambitious. Because the more waterproof I can make it inside, really, the better. But before we flip it over, we'll just do all of this. So that just will help protect it. There will be a little line there, but, you know, who cares? No big deal. I'm going to do a little trim like that, just so this stays neat. I could make this a bit smaller, but don't matter. And we just want to get that up to there. We're going to lift this up and push it down as well. So I'm going to, oh, I did that at a bit much of an angle. I've got K-pop in my head. That's a good thing, it's okay. Now this has stuck to, like I said, to the plastic, but because it's the plastic, easy. If that was the paper, bad. I'm going to open this up. There's a high chance that this could go wrong, but if I go slowly, oh no, this is going to be quite challenging. Doesn't matter if it goes into a great big mess, just because this flap is so long. No, I'm not brave enough. I'm going to. And why does it need to be waterproof all the way in there? It doesn't. And I'm just tucking that in down there. Oh, it's got all curled up. Yep. I hope I'm not making this look more difficult than it really is. It's easy. There you go. Nice little pochette that I can put all my things in. Oh, and it's sort of waterproof here and a bit waterproof on the little mouth there. And if I wanted to strengthen those edges, I could put a little bit more of my spare on the inside there, but I don't really know if that's necessary. Hey Sandra, hey Bam, how you going? Yes, yes, go off and grab your contact and off you go. And where was that nice little journal? I thought that this might be good too. Then usually I would put a journal jacket over the top, but let's do contact. And just, I have never contacted, I don't think, a journal cover before. But should we just do it and just see what happens? Let's see if there's an explosion. I don't think there will be. I've lost the contact, there it is. I've lost contact. I think it'll fit this way. So this is just my journal that I'm using, watching telly. We're rewatching the whole of Yellowstone, and because there's a new season, and it's just such a good show. And it's so different when you watch something the second time, especially if you've got characters you don't know if they're bad or good. You know, they behave badly, and they just, you think, oh, they're, you know, a bit of a traumatized person. They just, but you don't know what the trauma is that made them the way they are. You know, I'm talking about Beth and Rip, and if you watch the shows, and it's so interesting watching it again because you know why, or their excuse for, the excuse they use for being so dramatic, nasty, I don't know what the words are. So let's pop that down. And we should really do, you could plan this out and cut this up and get this all nice and organised before you take the plastic off. Make things a little bit less prone or vulnerable to devastation, but I think we'll be fine. So then I'm just going to tuck that under the bed. There we go. And here we'll do a little snipperlina, yes. And this will just give a little bit of protection, waterproofing. I could even use this as a palette in a pinch. In fact, if I put contact over the whole of the back there, you know, I could use the inside cover even as that too. Oh, I'm just so full of ideas today. Sorry about the dogs. There's a lot going on outside. I'm at JDHQ. Yes, so make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter because you are not going to want to miss what comes out tomorrow. We're not having a Black Friday. We're having something better. We're having something better. Okay, let's just roll this girl down. Oh, we got a lot of air bubbles there. So with air bubbles, usually you can chase them to a corner, or you can just do a little tiny, get your awl or a little needle and just do a little pinprick and push the air out and push all of them to as few spots as possible, and just do it that way. You'll just be laminating all the things now. I must admit, I did go through a phase where I did every one of the pouches, and then I dug up all the old pouches and did every pouch that I have. And I had a thoroughly lovely time doing it all. Thank you. Yes, better than Black Friday. We've got something exciting because there's new things, and yes. It's not going to be a November, it's going to be a November. And December's going to be December. Do some art, please. Do some art, please. There we go. If I was clever, I wouldn't put contact over the please return to. Okay. Celebrate each day together. Continue to see new things of purpose to guide you through your life, making things of beauty and utility for the community and yourself. I don't know what that's from. I can't remember now. Something. And, oh, this is the pixel pens on the undulation. So this journal that I'm using is the Undulate journal. Let's just zoom in a little. And because it has absorbency, because it is ripe rice paper, it's not a bleeding paper, but it does have a little bit of absorbency. If you push the ink, you can see, and it gets this beautiful restricted, mattified little bit of bleeding when you push it a bit. The only way to fully understand what I'm talking about is to try it for yourself. But I can see it in here. It's a little effect that you can't get any other way. It's just relevant to this paper. So this is the undulation paper. It's a traditional, this is me writing down insults people have used on, I can't even remember, probably Real Housewives, something like that. Also saying it's a traditional calligraphy paper for Japanese and Chinese calligraphy, and seeing as that's really where it was invented, it's sort of the homeland of these nice things. But you can use watercolour and whatever else you like on it. I think my favourite thing, I do love sketching on it, I must say. You have to be careful, it's a delicate paper. It's made for brushes, for undulating lines. That's why it's called the Undulation Journal. But let's do, I do have a little bit of lace here. Hey Lorianne, how you going? Let's just pop that down. Oh, let's get a little bit of Dionysus. We've got a little bit of Gods and Monsters ink here. Let's get a bit of Jupiter. A little bit of Venus. Are we all in? Oh no, we've got a combination. So there's the ancient Roman Gods and Monsters, and the ancient Greek. The Greeks were the first ones, and then the Romans in terms of history and ink. This is Hermes, Hermes, if you're going to say it the French way. Mercury. Oh, Mercury, we need a little bit more. We need a bit more mercury in here. Let's just get a bit. Oh, no. Need to refill that one. Aphrodite. Mighty Aphrodite. So, and these little spray bottles, if you've never seen this is the Mr. Right. And the reason it's called Mr. Right is because there's a pen at the end, which also gives it a little bit of height. Is the pen... It's a very fine little gel pen. Let's use it in a second, actually. Is it totally necessary to have a pen on the end of every one of your misters? Not really. It is always handy to have a pen everywhere. It's a nice little pen. But then if I didn't have the pen on, I couldn't call it a Mr. Right. Okay, so, and wouldn't the world be a sadder place if I wasn't able to call that a Mr. Right, okay? This is Pegasus. I'm just having fun, okay? I'm just flapping around. Spraying, spritzing. It's a nice Monday. Are you ready for the reveal? Dun, 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 dun. And now you know why I like to use this paper. Oh, why should I? I'm not going to waste that watercolour, all that beautiful ink. No, I'm going to grab a brush. I'm going to scoop that up just with the damp brush, go to the next page, and just, why not? It's not a watercolour paper. It'll take the water though. It'll take a little bit of this and that, that's for sure. Scratching and pointy things, no, especially if the paper is damp. But it'll do a little. Let's put our little Mr. Rights away. How cute's that? It's just a little, this is Mount Olympus right here with all the gods and monsters. The monsters weren't so welcome on here. Medusa and, well, her head did end up on Mount Olympus, I guess. Just the head, just her head, okay? And I can dab it, oh, because when you dab the ink, sometimes you get a nice little revelation, or you can let them dry and let the deep parts, just a bit of everything. But isn't that just lovely? And there's this matte blurring effect that happens. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. And the Gods and Monsters inks, their little thing is they are graduating or shading inks. They've got a gradient that happens within each colour. Some of them have not a colour shift, but a colour change on some papers. So on the levitation paper, for instance, or the window pane paper. So, but on this paper, you will get some of those qualities, but it affects the paper in different ways. And they also react with each other. And we do get a little bit of that layering of the pages too. You can see through from one to the next. But yes, that's my story for today. I'm going really well, Penny. Isn't that beautiful? And then, well, if I want to draw on that, I can. But sometimes, look, if I'm going to have a page of insults here, your need for attention's alarming, raggedy ass. Every time someone calls someone a raggedy ass, this or that, I scream because I have a very visual mind, and I suppose I'm visualising what's the raggedy ass look like. But it just makes me laugh. Yes, so after we have the insults, it might be nice to have a little bit of this, but I can add a drawing or something else on the top. I've got that little bit of watercolour there, seeing as we've gone into a little bit of watercolour. I'm just going to plop a little bit of this, and I can use this as palette. This is one of the paper pouches. I bet it never thought in its life it was going to become a paper palette. Not for 1 second would it have imagined that that's where its life was going, and yet here we are. And yet here we are. I'm using the book truck. I'm just going to go, what weird colours today, Jane? Let's let them mix and mingle. We have new neighbours. Oh, they're setting up a shop, I think, or something. I'll just do a little bit of colour. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to go to, just in case you don't know how to spell my name, JaneDavenport, JaneDavenport.com, and get onto that newsletter list, because you do not want to miss out on tomorrow's, the event that starts tomorrow, and the news. Yes, and that's on the newsletter. I'll mention some of the things, of course, elsewhere, but the newsletter's like ground zero. Oh, welcome, Matt. You are a very lovely creature. these are all watercolours that I'm using here. Oh, and I forgot to use my little thing there as a palette. Not the best palette, just in a pinch, because you can't see the colours that are mixing so well. So if you want to add a bit of mystery to life, then that would be a nice little thing to do. I think we need a bit of gold there before I go. Actually, you know, my favourite gold is this one at the moment. Oh, my goodness. I've got many golds to pick from. Gold layer cake. This is the gold, the glowing nimbus from the Euphoria palette. This gold is so reactive so quickly. Sometimes with metallic watercolours, pearls, that sort of thing, you've got to let them activate. But this one's just, it wants to party. It wants to get out there and join the world. And we'll get a little bit of its friend here as well. This is Utopia. It's just a deeper gold. It's just as gorgeous. It's just that brighter gold. And next to it is actually a pearl. Sorry about Zozzy in the background and drilling. So I might go actually, yes, because that's very not nice. Okay, my lovely friends, I'm going to head off. But you can try that laminating your paper pouches. We, of course, like I said, send these out with our art supplies and tissue paper and all sorts of cute things, gifts. Make sure you're on that newsletter so that you get the special news tomorrow. And, or even if you're watching this in the future as a replay, you still want to be on there because there's always something happening in that newsletter. I don't send it out very often. You can unsubscribe anytime, you know. It's like all newsletters. Yeah, have fun creating some nice little places to create a little comfort pile, a little comfort, a little squishy little pencil case. Bye.